Hi, welcome back. I'm April. I'm here with my friend and designer, Lindsay. We're on our second episode of Wine and Design.
Okay, so we are going to jump into testing 3 different wines at 3 different price groups.
So let's go for it. The first one is a Cabernet from Broadside. Cheers. Cheers. This Broadside is the least expensive of the wines that we'll be tasting today. It's at $25 per bottle. I really like it. So Lindsay owns her own design company, and she's also a really intricate part of the Kitchen Crate design process. And so I really want to talk to Lindsay about one of the kitchens that we've recently done, and I'm really excited to go over that with her. And we're just gonna kind of break it down, talk design.
Perfect. So what we're looking at is a project called Nevis. So one of the things I loved about Nevis was the counter material that they selected. If you go on the website and look at the project before and after pictures, you will notice that it is a natural stone. So just a couple things to know about a natural stone. A little more porous, a little more maintenance, and a little more expense than a quartz product. There are some wonderful quartz options that don't have to have those expense and maintenance things, but their counter turned out just stunning. A lot of times you start with the counter and then move on to things. For instance, the backsplash is another one of my favorite aspects of this design. They did a nice subtle white subway tile, did the larger format, and then a bevel to it,
I
just
like the
to
bevel.
add a little character, not too busy, but just a little touch to it.
Nice. All right, well, so before we move on, let's try our second wine.
Okay.
Cheers.
Okay.
This is called Pre, also a cab. And I like that a lot too.
Yeah.
This Cabernet Sauvignon is a bottle of Pre. It goes for about $50 per bottle, and it's well worth it. You can really taste the difference on that. I like it. Okay, so jumping right in, let's talk about another design element of this kitchen that you like a lot.
So I love that they went with the two-tone. Not all kitchens can have 2 colors of cabinet paint to it. With them, they had a nice island in the middle, and so we were able to do an accent color. And then instead of going with a white cabinet for the perimeter cabinets, all the cabinets around, she chose a subtle green, and it had just a touch of gray to it. It was a really pretty and still subtle color.
It is very subtle, and I like it. You can just really see the color. It's not quite as dark as the white, and it's just very mild. It's beautiful. It's a great color choice. We're gonna work on our third glass. This is a Farm Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley. This bottle of Farm Cabernet goes for about $75 per bottle.
And I think for me, a little strong.
Is it?
Just a little.
It's really, I think it's smooth. I would have expected it to be a little bit stronger, but I think it's really smooth. And personally, I just noticed that I think that the higher end the bottle, the smoother it's gonna be. So that's my take on the wine. Let's dive into this project a little bit more. And I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that buffet cabinet piece over in the corner there. And I wanted to just kind of point out that I've seen the before and after pictures, and I really like what they did with this. I think it was really important for them to bring a designer into this, because as a layman, I have dead spaces in my kitchen that I just can't see what I should do with it, and I could really use the extra help, because once you make that commitment, you know, it's a financial commitment, and I just don't want to regret it in the end. So tell me about this piece and what you did here.
So I love what they ended up doing. They had a wine bar area that they just weren't using efficiently. And so put some glass doors on the upper cabinetry, and then just made it a much more usable space for their needs, and put a nice counter that matched the rest of their counters in there. And it really just worked nicely to improve a space, like you said, a dead space they weren't using, and now it's not only beautiful, but they use it now. It's functional.
I think that space can also transition if they choose to make it more of a coffee bar later down the road, you know, lifestyles change, tastes change, and if they want to update it, it can go to a coffee bar, it could stay a wine bar. It could also be used, I think, if I were entertaining, as a nice, you know, place to store your really nice fancier pieces that you use for just for the holidays, or even as a buffet when you have a lot of people over. So I think I really like that it's multifunctional there. Lindsay, those are some really great points that you pointed out on this kitchen. Thank you very much. We went over 3 different design elements, but now the most important part, the 3 different wines.
Right.
So I'm gonna take your vote first. What was your favorite wine?
I think I am staying consistent and I'm right in the middle.
Okay. So that was the $50 bottle. That was the pre. And I am going to go with the more expensive bottle. I don't mean to, but I do think that something about the higher end kind of really does bring a richness that I enjoy. So I am going to go with the Farm from Napa Valley. It is very full-bodied, and but at the same time very, very smooth. So once again, I want to thank Camp 4 for having us out today, and we'll do a cheers. Goodbye.